Hey, aloha folks, and welcome to the Klipper Golf Course. I have the pleasure of being with Tyler Fujimoto today. Tyler is the TaylorMade representative for the state of Hawaii. Welcome, Tyler.
Thank you, Kevin.
Yeah.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, no, our pleasure. Hey, so, you're relatively new to this job, right?
I am. I started here in end of January in 2024.
Yeah,
So
shoot.
been here about a little over a year now.
Yeah, a year and some change. So, we're chit-chatting before we got here, right? And you came in after Trevor. Trevor was here for a while. How long was
Correct.
Trevor here for?
Trevor was here, I believe, for about three or 4 years.
Yeah. What's interesting about Trevor is like he came over here and he was repping, and he kind of looks like a guy that grew up here, right? But
Correct.
He's actually from San Diego, right?
Yes.
And then you came in from the mainland, but you're actually from here.
Yeah.
So that was kind of interesting, right? But so you started off in California with TaylorMade, right?
Correct. Yes. I started in Northern California.
Yeah.
In the Sacramento area.
Sacramento. And you were up there for college initially, and but you didn't start working for TaylorMade while you were in college. It was after college.
Correct. I got into the golf industry after college. So in college, I was playing baseball. I played baseball my whole life.
Mm-hmm.
Towards the ending part of my college baseball career, I started getting into golf and figured out my way into the golf industry. Started off at Golf Galaxy in Roseville, California, and then started doing some demo days / fitting events. I was a demo tech for TaylorMade for about 2 years.
So how did that happen? Like, so you're working at Golf Galaxy. You must have been doing a pretty good job over there and made a good impression on the TaylorMade people for them to give you the opportunity, right?
Yeah, so I was very lucky. I actually started as a cashier, kind of working my way into the golf business. And then I started doing fittings.
At the Golf Galaxy?
At Golf Galaxy.
So they have those bays or whatever?
Correct. We had 3-4 TrackMan bays.
Wow.
Worked my way up to becoming the master fitter at Golf Galaxy. Got in touch with the local TaylorMade rep in the Northern California territory. Expressed my interest, started doing some...
Did you hear about an opportunity or something? Or did you just thought, oh, I want to go try work for TaylorMade?
So funny enough, I had asked him at the time, is there a TaylorMade rep in Hawaii where, you're the TaylorMade rep here in Northern California. Is there that job in Hawaii? Because I didn't know which way I wanted to go. I was kind of going through the PGA program. Or,
oh, were you really?
I was, yeah.
Oh, no way. I didn't know that.
Going the sales rep route. So I was interested in the sales rep route. I grew up, I went up and graduated with business, just a general business degree. So I wanted to kind of use that. Found an interest in being a sales rep, and he did mention that there was a sales rep in Hawaii, which was Trevor at the time.
Yeah.
This was in about 2021. So a year after COVID.
Wow. And so you had been interested in being a sales rep in the state of Hawaii, but you started off your career in California. So you probably were thinking, okay, well, I'll just get in the door.
Correct.
Got it.
So he mentioned to me, the easiest way to get in is I'll put you on my demo team or my tech team, and started doing events on the weekends. That flip-flopped from Golf Galaxy full-time, TaylorMade part-time to TaylorMade full-time, doing events, and then going Galaxy part-time, eventually just sticking with TaylorMade.
Wow. Yeah, so when you first started working at Golf Galaxy, right? You come in, you're green, you just started golfing, and you probably were loving golfing because like a lot of baseball players, they love to hit that ball far, right?
Correct. So, I was that guy on the range that just wanted to hit as far as possible.
Over the net, right?
Whether it went right, left, it didn't matter.
Who cares, right? It's exhilarating, right? Because a baseball can only go so far, but you hit a golf ball and it's so.
And I was a pitcher in college as well, so I didn't hit.
Okay. I saw you had a scar on your arm. Is that surgery from pitching?
Yeah, freshman year of junior college, I got Tommy John surgery.
Oh, wow. Yep. Dangerous business, man.
It is.
But okay, so you got into golf. You're excited about it. You go, I'm gonna go get a job at Golf Galaxy because this is your new hobby, your new passion, right?
Correct.
So you get the job there, entry level, working as a cashier. Obviously, you don't go straight into doing fittings, working with TrackMan, because that's a whole nother endeavor, learning how to use TrackMan. So how did that happen? How did you end up becoming a fitter over there?
It was pretty easy to transition. As a pitcher in college, we had a lot of the same technologies.
No way.
TrackMan, we had a Rapsodo.
Did TrackMan start off in baseball?
That I'm not too sure.
But the same technology is used for pitching.
Correct. It's very popular. So what you do is you track spin rate, kind of like when you do a driver fitting, you're looking at spin rate pretty heavily.
Yeah.
In baseball, you're looking at spin rate of a fastball, of your curveball, slider, and whatnot. So that translated pretty quickly. I didn't know what numbers I was looking for.
Right.
In terms of golf fitting, but I knew and I understood the spin rate, launch,
interesting,
and things like that. So
interesting.
It was actually a pretty easy transition. I just had to flip it from baseball to golf.
Wow, it's almost as if it was meant to be. So just for fun, I mean, this has nothing to do with golf, but in baseball, when you're tracking the pitch, right? When you're throwing a fastball, you don't want it to have too much spin, right?
So if you're throwing a four-seam fastball, you actually want a lot of spin.
You want a lot of spin. So is the ball spinning toward the batter? Because if it's going backwards, it's resistant. That's not resistant to.
So the more spin you have, if you ever hear the term, "Oh, that pitcher has a heavy fastball," the ball is heavy. It's harder to hit. It's because he has a lot of spin, and when you do that, the ball actually does rise a little bit.
I see.
So it's more deception.
I see.
And then if you're throwing a two-seam fastball, you want less spin so that ball can move and dip down.
Got it. So.
And curveball, same, right?
But the curve, I would imagine,
you're going to want a lot,
spin, right?
Because you're going to want more movement.
Right.
Change-ups, you're going to want less because you want that ball to fall off. So it's similar to golf, right?
Yeah.
If you have too low spin on a driver, that ball is going to die down.
Okay, I get it. I was trying to get the correlation there. Okay. Wow. Okay. So it was understanding that, the logic of all the spin and translating that into golf, and then of course the TrackMan, same technology. You walk right in, you're able to immediately use the equipment.
Correct, with guidance.
With guidance, okay.
With guidance of what you're looking for. There's different arm angles in baseball, low, medium, or high. Similar to golf, right? Higher launch, lower launch.
I see. Interesting. But of course, with the golf fitting comes the other whole side of it, which is understanding the equipment, right? And that was something I'm sure you weren't completely well versed in yet.
That I was very green.
So how did you pick up on that?
Shadowing.
Okay, so there was a shadowing period.
Correct. Okay. I didn't just jump into the master fitter role. I was the cashier, going onto the sales floor, shadowing fittings. You can learn a lot online as well. Yeah. As long as you choose the right. The right knowledge.
So you were aggressively pursuing it then. You were doing your homework. It sounds like you did a lot of work on your own time.
I spent a lot of time with baseball, learning that. So it was something new that intrigued me, and put a lot of time and effort into, it's not just the club face or club head, loft, it's also the shaft.
Yeah, so what's really interesting about this is, a lot of people who would hear your story would just think like, oh, maybe you're a little lucky, or oh wow, what a unusual situation to go from being a baseball player into being a golf guy now, right? But not so much, not necessarily so. If you when you hear more about what the story entails, you did put a lot of work into this, and you did find a new passion, but you did take the time to aggressively pursue it. You kind of knew your angle that you're going to go for. You put in the homework, you put in the time, you actually made an investment into the company because you didn't know whether that position was going to become available or not, but you just decided I'm gonna go in and see where it takes me.
It's a lot of hard work and dedication, but also timing, right?
Yeah.
Timing is everything as well.
No, but this is great. You know, like my son is 21 years old, and we have a lot of discussions, and he's the type of guy where he doesn't mind putting in hard work, but he wants to know he's getting a return on his investment. But a lot of times in life, I'm trying to explain to him that you don't always know what your return on investment is. There's a little bit of faith involved where you go, I aspire to do this, so therefore I'm going to go all in. I'm have a little faith and a little trust. I'm going to invest.
You're not always going to know, but you also have to, you know, bet on yourself.
But when it pays off, when it comes through, look at you today, right?
Correct.
And it would have never happened if you didn't pay it forward. Yeah. Awesome. Oh, what a great lesson to learn in the story. Awesome. Okay, so, but I hope you're listening. But anyway, okay, so you do all of that, everything works out, boom, you get that job, right? So you're here in Hawaii, you've been here for like a year and 3 months. You know, I remember when you first got involved, you know, I could see that you were not comfortable yet, right? You're like, oh boy. I could just tell you weren't comfortable the first time we met. You were kind of feeling it out, right? And you didn't know any of the people in the industry, right?
Correct. I didn't grow up playing junior golf.
Right.
I was, you know, growing up playing baseball. So everyone I had to meet.
Yeah, start from fresh. Because like even with Trevor, I know when he first took it over, he had the roots all set in because he was working at Roger Dunn.
Correct.
And he had built a huge relationship and a huge network with the golf community from that. And so when he took over TaylorMade, it was just like he was in the same situation, but just a different role. You know what I mean?
Correct.
But he was in the same environment, you know? So it was easy for him to transition. Like when he came to meet me, we didn't know each other, but he came in and he was able to say, hey, Kevin, you know, I know we don't know each other, but I know so-and-so, and I've been doing this, I've been doing that. And then you connect the dots and it's all familiar. But like with you, it was brand new.
Correct.
Yeah. No, but I will say this. I mean, and I'm not just trying to make you feel good, but in the year and 3 months, I've seen huge growth, you know? You've really managed to expand your network, right? You've gotten real comfortable, you know, the job itself, you know, you understand your product, you know, you're embracing the whole demo day, fitting day thing. And I know that's in addition to what you've got to do. Just being a sales representative, you got to put on another hat, become a demo day, or not demo day, or fitting day, demo day, experiential representative, right? So, yeah, you're really doing it full force right now, right?
I appreciate that.
Yeah. No, so and we appreciate that too because, you know, we do well with TaylorMade. We're really blessed because we got Leland, right? Correct. Leland is like worth his weight in gold. However, you know, you have that. We have that going for us. We got TaylorMade's a strong brand. We're fortunate that we have the only golf shop on the base. You know, so therefore we have a lot going for us. But without your support and coming in, and you've been giving us a fitting day, you know, almost on a monthly basis, right?
We try to do about one a month.
Yeah.
When the product comes out, typically at the beginning of the year, we're out here about 2 times a month.
Yeah, totally. And so you
sign
help
up.
us. Yeah, please sign up. And you've been helping us move through our inventory. You know, you're just in there looking at our shelf, going like, "Hey, Kev, look, you sold through a lot of this." But I know that's a lot of it is due to Leland, of course, and you as well. So, so thank you for that. Yeah.
And Leland's been great.
He is great.
He is a great supporter and definitely drives our brand.
Totally. He's a big advocate of TaylorMade. I mean, he plays the equipment. He talks it up. He puts it in the hands of all of his students. he's just a great ambassador for the brand.
And that's all we could ask for.
Yeah,
right?
It's not a hard sell. It's not a hard sell, but nevertheless,
it does take effort. It does take effort.
Nevertheless, yes, he is always putting his best foot forward and using his influence to push the brand ahead. So yeah, real good job for him in that. But it's thanks to your support that allows us to make it happen. Yeah, so good
and your support as well.
Yeah,
so
well, thank you.
We appreciate it.
Yeah. But okay, so things are going good. I know you had mentioned, we were talking earlier about, you know, being a DoD employee that I am. We're talking about, going to the exchange and whatnot, and the gyms and whatnot. And you were telling me about your girlfriend is a DoD employee too. And so you've got your girlfriend here, and you're back in Hawaii, you know. So it's kind of like you've come home. You've kind of got your whole life working now. Mm-hmm. Everything is kind of moving in the right direction.
It's coming together.
Yeah, that's nice. So you got some good balance, not just work, but you got a little bit of like a family life almost outside of that too. And so that's really good. But let's go ahead and let's just rewind a little back, right? So what got you to the point where you were in California? Because that's where you started this journey. Why were you in California? I know you were up there to play baseball, but what school did you go to? What was that like?
So I graduated here at Moanalo High School in 2014.
Okay.
Immediately after that, I went to Washington. I went to a junior college called Pierce College.
Okay.
That was for baseball, so that was my first stop.
Got it.
Did get hurt. You mentioned Tommy John.
Yeah.
Medical red shirt for 1 year.
Okay.
So I was there for 3 years.
So you played your freshman year, then you got hurt?
I got hurt during fall ball.
Oh. So before
right in the middle.
So you had to redshirt right off the bat.
So I didn't even play the first season.
Got it.
Came back the next year, the following 2 years. After that, I committed to William Jessup.
Yep.
In Sacramento or Rockland, California.
Yep.
Where I played for Jake McKinley.
Nice. And so you pitched all those years?
I did. Yes. Wow. I started off as a starter. I was a starting pitcher in high school and in the beginning of college. Due to the injury, I turned more to a relief role and became a closer for the last 2 years in California.
Is that because of not being able to go as long with the injury?
Yeah, I just felt like I couldn't last as long.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Really enjoyed the high pressure situations being a closer. So
that is cool.
That was a lot of fun.
So I'm not really well versed in baseball. What was your thing? What made you special? What for pitching?
Throwing strikes.
Yeah, you're just very consistent.
A lot of strikes. Through a cutter, fastball, slider, and a curveball.
Got it.
Yeah.
Nice. So, playing golf. Is that your game too? You're a consistency guy, fairways and greens?
Yeah, I mean, if you ever see me play, I don't hit it the straightest. I do play, a cut pretty much on every shot. But what I like about it is it
goes the same way all the time. Yeah, there you go.
Same way every time. You know where it's going. You know where your miss is. So that's definitely helped me.
Yeah, big time.
Kind of control the game a little bit.
Yep. Very good. That's awesome. Yeah, no, I know. You know, I knew this one guy back in the day. His name was Clint Bidwell. He's a member at a Wahoo Country Club. Probably still playing out there. But anyway, he would hit the ball over the left paper barks, but slice it back into the fairway every time. He's a pretty good player. So, you know, hey, you just have to be consistent, right? Know what it's going to do, and then you can plan for it, right?
Exactly. When you know where it's going, you can have the confidence to hit it.
Yeah. So you were up there in the mainland going to school for a total of 5 years then?
5 years.
Okay.
So I graduated in 2019.
Nice.
I ended up staying in California for another 3, almost 4 years. Wow. I came home in 2023 of November.
Got it. So when you initially stayed up there, were you going to stay up there because that's where you thought you might want to live and have a career, or were you just kind of hanging out for a little bit, enjoying the experience, and then?
I loved it up there. I got a lot of good friends up there. But what really happened too was COVID happened, right, in 2020. So I graduated in 2019. I was still up there. I didn't necessarily think I was going to stay there as long as I did. COVID put a little bit of a delay on that about moving home. I didn't come home for almost 3 years to even visit, just due to, you know, restrictions and whatnot.
Got it. Okay. So baseball now. What baseball? Obviously, you play baseball your whole life. Did you just start off little league like everyone else? Is that how it's?
Yeah, it started when I was 3-4 years old. Throwing the baseball, throwing it against the wall.
Okay, and is it a family thing? You got like a lot of your predecessors in your family play baseball and stuff?
My great grandpa was a catcher.
Oh, okay.
He played in Japan.
Oh, wow.
And then my mom was a pitcher, a softball
Really?
pitcher for Moanalo High School as well.
Oh, no way. That is so cool.
So baseball wasn't all around the family, but it was there for sure.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so you started playing baseball, you know, there was a little influence, but at some point you must have gotten pretty good at it, right? And it started to lead you toward wanting to play at a higher level.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So were you good early, or did you start to blossom more towards the middle school, high school years?
More of a later bloomer. It was more so intermediate, high school time.
Yeah. And when you were playing baseball, was it already to the point where it was a year-round thing?
It was. Luckily, I mean, we live in Hawaii. Luckily, we can play year-round. We're really fortunate about that.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, you know, you have your city league that you play for, and then there's travel ball teams and trips, and so it was year-round.
Yeah. And did you at any point in time aspire to be a professional baseball player?
I did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was that kind of like what you were aiming for?
So in high school, college was always the goal. Right. And once you get to college, then that was the next goal. Unfortunately, I had the opportunity. My arm just wasn't holding up at the end of the year, and just decided to hang it up and
but that happens. I mean, my son is a soccer player, and he was telling me when he was growing up, there was this phenom, you know, girl soccer player. Her name is Kira, and they're same age, but the reason why we know her is because she was so good. She always played with the boys, and she had like full ride scholarship to Ohio State right out of high school, you know, the whole deal. And I didn't even know this, but I just found out that she doesn't play anymore because of injury. And it just happens. You can't control that. And you know, sports, right? I mean, you're using your body in a way that maybe is not meant to be used, right, to a certain extent. Especially this day and age, we do everything so extreme, right? It's just so much more physical, strong, fast, hard, right? It's more of a pounding than the body can really take sometimes. For sure.
So it was nice to transition to golf and maybe not wake up sore the next day.
Okay, but this is interesting. Okay, so learning so much more about you. But so you aspired to be a pro baseball player. That was going well until the injury came. The injury comes, you get back on the horse, but the equipment is not as hardy as it used to be, right? Doesn't look like you're going to be able to do this long term. You transition into golf, and you mentioned that you were in the PGA apprentice program. So there was a desire for you to be a golf professional too.
Correct. I made it not far as the qualifying level, and you know, just feeling it out.
Yeah. But I mean, obviously there must have been something that made you, I mean, you don't just start playing golf and, oh, it's a great fun and okay, I'm going to be a golf pro. I mean, something must have led to that. So what led you down that trail?
Just liking, you know, really finding a love for golf and loving it as a hobby.
But you must have gotten pretty good at it quickly.
I wouldn't say quickly.
Yeah.
I did get it down to, you know, single digits, and that's when I became more interested in figuring out the PGA program.
Yeah.
And then, you know, just helping out kids.
Oh, you love kids.
Like, I mean, yeah, you want to give back, right?
Good for you. Well, that's not usually what young people think about. honestly, right? Young people think about, right? What's in it for me? Don't think about giving back to the kids. So good for you. That's great. Um, okay, interesting. So, well, man, we kind of touched base on a lot of things. You know, growing up, baseball, right? All the way through high school. Kind of neat how, you know, your grandpa was a pro ball player in Japan. Your mom was a pitcher for Moanalua.
Mm-hmm.
You were a pitcher for Moanalua. Family legacy.
Correct.
Pretty cool. One throws this way,
Yeah.
the other one throws this way. That's neat. Oh, that is so neat. And then you go to college. You're aspiring to take it to the next level. You're having a great college experience. You get the injury. That kind of cuts it short, but then you find golf. There's a passion for golf. You start looking towards coming home. You set yourself up with a little bit of experiential, you know, thing up in California, and then the opportunity presents itself, and here we are. That is a great story.